Yes, and welcome back. Of course, this is the Touchline. Just in case you're joining us, you're watching all the best and the latest from the world of sports. And glad to have Shujaa, the National Rugby Sevens men's team, with me here in the studio to speak about their campaign in the Sevens circuit and also what lies ahead in the Division 2. And I'll be glad to introduce the man with me here, Nygel Amaitsa, karibu sana Nygel, from my left, and William Mwanji, karibu sana Willie. And of course, George Ooro and Wekesa. Karibuni sana, man. It's been a great campaign for you, Sio, but I'll really like to hear from you. You put in your own words the assessment of how the Sevens season was. Wekesa.
For me, season imekuwa fiti. I think we did our best. We played 7 circuits. We finished ninth in the world. Is not that bad. But for our potential, we know we can go higher. It was a young team. In the end of the season, tuliona from Singapore, we can actually go for it. We finished second, we took silver. But in the end, we had to go for the playoffs again. So unfortunately, World Rugby, World Series had to change the format. So the top 8 were back in the 7th one, and then so us, we had to go to the 7th too. But for me, it was a good performance for the season. With the team we had, a very young squad, an experienced squad right now. Yeah, we are definitely a good team, and going forward, tutakuwa fiti.
Ooro, what would be your assessment of the whole campaign and how it was for the team?
The series was a good campaign for us. Most of us had not played to that stage, but so it was an opportunity. We had to appreciate our hard work. Going to the series, we knew things could work on our way, but it was so unfortunate for us. But again, there's a Div 2, so we have to put our heads high to go conquer the Div 2 now, because we have no other choice. So yeah.
Yep. And for William, what would you put your words about the campaign that was?
Actually, before the start of the season, we had our targets. Actually, the initial, we were to finish in the top 8, so we avoid this thing of
the playoffs and all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So unfortunately, we came 9 overall, but all I can say, the season was good. Keeping in mind that tulikuwa na squad yenye some of us ilikuwa first time yetu kucheza hiyo stage. So all I can say, ilikuwa fiti na tuko na potential. Hiyo ndio kitu tunajua, like we can do wonders. Yeah.
Amaitsa?
Season ilikuwa poa. Tulianza na high hopes. Kwenda sudden death na France. Then kutoka hapo ndo tukajua tunaweza cheza poa kwa series juu most of us hatukuwa tumecheza. So kwenda Cape Town tukaperform poa than Dubai. So tukaendelea kuweka hopes, tukaendelea kuweka hiyo determination. Ikaendelea hivyo until Vancouver ndo place I think ilikuwa hapo ndo lazima ikuwe turning point. Tukatoka bila hata kushinda game moja. Hapo ndo tukajua yenyewe tunaweza kuwa poa, but bado tuko mbaya. Then kwenda Hong Kong ndo tukaanza saa kila mtu alikuwa amesha adapt hiyo weather. Kila mtu alikuwa adapt, kila mtu alikuwa form. Ndo tukaanza kuonesha yenyewe tunaweza unda great team. That's why hapo Singapore pia ndo tukaperform poa.
And in Dubai, which was the opening leg, so you beat South Africa for the first time in Dubai.
Yes,
that was a big win for the team.
Yes. South Africa, kila mtu aliingia game akitaka kuwapiga juu ya Afrika, unajua.
Yeah, sure.
So
tukashinda kwa Olympic qualifiers.
Aiyo, tukao tumewapiga. So tunataka tuonyeshe kila mse hawatuwezi bado. Alafu unajua pia Dubai ndio ilikuwa inakuwa tournament yao. So tunataka tu prove wrong hawatuwezi. Yeah, ilikuwa game poa though.
Yeah. So really, playing in the season for the first time, what lessons did you pick for now going into the Division 2, more experience, with more matches under your arm? And
Actually, going to the Div 2, mimi naweza sema ile experience tumepata hii time tumekuwa tukicheza HSBC itakuwa more helpful to us because HSBC it's very unforgiving. Una mess kidogo hivi wamekupunish. So going forward tu ni tuendelee yenye tumekuwa tukifanya right, na we need to put more focus going forward because playing in that stage si rahisi. Lazima ukuwa tupa kila kitu, rules nini, fitness, lazima tu kuwa tupa, haina shortcut.
Yeah, and best performances, George, in Cape Town and Singapore. Maybe what did this tell the team? What kind of positive lessons did the team pick?
Okay, I think from Nygel's words, we went there knowing, yes, we are a team, but once our first game we went to the sudden death with the Olympic champions. We felt like actually we can do it. Then went to the next game against South Africa, and we were victors. So it showed how we can be as a team, then build up from that, and again be coachable. You know, you have to be coachable for you to perform. Yeah. So all that we did as a team. Actually, it's more of how we bond together as a team, and how we learn fast, and how we understand each other's weaknesses, and how we use each other's strengths for us to come as champions.
And being coachable is beyond just taking instructions, right?
Yeah, it's also how about your personal attitude and your discipline, actually.
Yeah, and at this level, that's it's no brainer. It must be there.
It must be there for you to perform, actually.
For Wekesa, I mean, tough matches or tough legs in Perth, you know. What lessons did you pick from those tough games, you know, tough legs?
I think
Vancouver and Perth as well.
I think in that level of the HSBC, it's just realizing that being good enough is not enough. Just being good is not good enough. So kwenda Perth kucheza na, we were in the same pool with Fiji, New Zealand, and Uruguay, and people thinking that Uruguay will be the small dogs there, but coming beating New Zealand and Fiji both in the same day. We also saw our chance. We can do this. We are also a big team, bigger than Uruguay, and we can also compete with the big boys. So it's just learning. You lose one, and you have to prepare for the next game in like 3 hours. So you just pick your lessons quick, fast. Also accept your wrongings. You always don't have to be right. So just accept your wrongings and go on to the next match, trying to be a better version of yourself. We just pick the learnings from the losses and built. I think we understood ourselves more from the losses than the wins, and just kept molding that better team.
And of course, there are some legs where they happen, you know, a week. There was a difference of a week. Just from this leg, you go to the next leg. I mean, was that a factor, like the recovery, and also how quick do you have to turn around and refocus to the next match?
I think in that level, recovery is key, and you see like legs like Vancouver, where you have like a 10-hour difference from Kenya. So there's also that sleep deficiency, there's that travel, and it takes a toll on the body. So playing in those legs is tough for us, but you also have to adapt. No one is going to wait for you because you had a, let's say 21-hour flight. Hakuna mtu atakungoja. So it's just going to those legs and knowing how you'll take care of your body, sleep right, take your meals right, go for all recovery protocols so that you are good on that match day. So I think also the 2-week games, I think for us it favors us because I think we are fit. We are also, ukiangalia in the legs that they were there, the 2 continuous legs, it was Dubai, Cape Town. It's hot. It's hot, and in Kenya it's also hot. So for us, we adapt easily. Same with Hong Kong and Singapore. It was almost 30 degrees, 40 degrees, and for us, we easily adapt. Kushinda wazungu will adapt in those kind of weathers. So for us, it was. I think just recovery is personal, and for us, we did it well.
Yeah. In football, they say the 24-hour rule, you know, like quickly you forget, even if it's a win, you have to move on to the next one. For Nygel, I mean, what elements of your game you think must either improve or improved from the experiences in the 7th circuit?
Cha kwanza ni, I think, kucheza kwa pressure, kucheza under pressure. I think from the beginning, from when we started until now, I feel nimekuwa composed kwa game enough. Then the other thing ni I think nimeongeza pia speed kwa game yangu na nimeongeza pia kujidipendia pia. Hizo ndio vitu nimeongeza.
Yeah, and how I mean, I saw you kicking, you know, you can kick as well. How better is it, you know, or how improved is it right now, your in terms of the kicking range?
When I add the aspect of speed in it, I think I can kick anywhere and chase it, then get the ball and score. I think hiyo ndo belief yangu, kila time nataka kukick, like na feel niko na hiyo speed, naweza fikia hiyo ball anytime na kick. Yeah, so hivyo kila time nikifanya ina come through kila time, so I believe ni speed yangu ni inanisaidia sana. Yeah.
And I mean, when you try it in the training and you put it at work wakati wa game, it sounds easy, you know, because now people like, wow, people go crazy.
But something funny during training I was fanya hizo vitu.
What does the coach want? Or what do you want?
He wants everything, like anything you can offer, but I don't do that in training. Yeah.
They do that wakati wa game?
It's always let me say my fourth option. Yeah.
And that's like brilliant thinking, you know, like how you can just change this game.
Yeah, like everything imekataa, so hiyo ndo ya mwisho inatokea tu.
Yeah. William, for you, what aspects improved from your participation in the series?
Actually, nasema decision making. At first tukiingia series, decision making ilikuwa a bit shaky. But with time, with how the game is played, you have to adjust very fast because you have a split second to make the right decision. So decision unaweza make the decision ikuwe ya kuua team ama ya kujenga team. So kitu yenye imenijenga ni hiyo decision making na pia like game understanding, like ilisonga. So kuna venye nilikuwa na view game, but at this moment I know, like whenever I'm in the pitch, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know I'm supposed to be at the right time just to help the team.
Yeah. For Ooro, I mean, when you beat Canada, right, in the playoff and finally got into the Division 2, how important was that particular win?
Okay, to start from some stories back, we were so heartbroken when we got to LA and realized
just to cut you, kidogo, when did you realize that now you're not fighting to remain in the top series, and instead the new format has been introduced? Did you learn that when you landed in LA?
No, I think it was when they sent the format of, you know, before we travel, they usually send the formats of the hotels where you guys are going to sleep. So when you check all that, we saw that we were divided. There was this team that was in a certain hotel, the other guys were on the certain hotel. Then when you go to LA, now the information, the letter came from the World Rugby. I think it was on some 2 days to the tournament. And we were so heartbroken, everyone was shut.
Yeah.
And I think that is what led to us losing to Samoa after getting to the finals. We lost to Samoa, that was number 4 from the Challenger Series, our first game. Now, after that, we just recollected ourselves, knowing that after all, we just have to win the playoff game, the last game, because that was definitely we were going to be number 3, meeting number 2. Number 2, the other side was Canada. So going to that game against Canada, in 2022 they had our own date because they relegated us. We played against them and we lost. We went to relegation. So that was like a game to prove a
Yeah.
point.
You sure?
Because we
The whole
were
of
just to win.
IRB and them, yeah.
Because those were the guys who brought us back to the Challenger Series.
Yeah, sure.
So going to that game, we knew what we wanted, and that's why the scores were coming after every minute.
And just maybe I'll just give out 1 seconds each. But Wekesa, could you answer this? What do you think the season in Division 2 will be like?
The season in Division 2 is not far apart from Division 1. So Division 2 will be 6 teams. The bottom 4 from the previous series, and then the top 2 from the Challenger Series, which will be played next year. So Division 2 will play 3 legs as Division 2 teams. It will be a round-robin format. And then going on to the World Championships now, where the top 4 from the Division 2 will come to play with the top 1 from the Division 1. That's the World Championship, the last 3 legs of the season. And then the top 8 remain in the Division 1, and then the 4 fall back to Division 2. But the only difference is that the Division 1, before the 3 World Championship finals, watakuwa wamecheza, like they'll be a little bit, have had more game time because they'll have played 6 series, while us will have played only 3 series, and then going on to the World Championship to crown the King of Sevens, so in the final 3. Yes.
And then last word from you, what should we expect from Shujaa rising again, right?
Yeah, Shujaa is always rising. Yeah, it's a good group. No one is going anywhere, and in 2-3 years it will be fighting for medals. Just itakuwa kawaida.
Yeah. Ooro, seeing more power play from you in Division 2, and what would be the promise for you on behalf of Shujaa?
For me, powerhouse actually is Wekesa, but okay, let me just take that. The powerhouse is Wekesa, but okay, the power play is just going more into the gym. I do a lot of strength and conditioning activities. So maybe working more on my strengths. Then again, it's not easy also in the Division 2, because actually, if Samoa could come from position 4 to come beat us, and we were the finalists, it shows how competitive rugby is. So going to Div 2 is more about just trying to improve on what we were doing, and maybe work more on our strengths to go manage and conquer the Division 2.
You share the same sentiments for you and your dreams in Division 2?
Actually, we have a very dedicated technical bench, and immediately after the game with Canada, they promised us they did not promise us. We said we are going back to where we are supposed to be. So going to the Div 2, we have goals, we have our KPIs, we must tick them right. So it's way up. No stopping.
For real, and Nygel was, of course, from the Olympics, from the Africa qualifiers, Olympics, and now the World Series, it's now limitless, and Division 2 should be a walkover.
It seems so, but hizi kwa rahisi. Hata watu wengine wezi kuja kucheza rahisi. So I think the only way is up, na lazima tu insist hapo. Na kitu pia fans wanafaa kujua, hatuwezi ingia hapo ndani pia kuuza country. So tunaendelea pia siku work hard. Hakuna laxity. Juu ukirelax pia sevens imeenda.
Thank you so much, Nygel Amaitsa, William, Mwanji, and of course George Ooro and Kevin Wekesa for gracing the touchline. Of course, all under the guidance of Kevin Wambua and the entire technical bench, Akina Kisia, right? And we wish you all the best in Division 2 when it kicks off. And we also like to see you again here, coming to talk with us about your performances and how really it's been challenging and how you're putting in all to achieve that. So hope to see you next time and wish you all the best. So up next, I'll be speaking to the team. That's the Champions League, the Europa Conference League, and what's happening majorly from the international world of sports. That's soccer. That's on Fan Zone coming up next. But wish I had 1 minute to ask you if you watch football as well. Who are you supporting tonight as far as the Champions League is concerned? Inter Milan, Wekesa? Inter. Oh, Mwanji?
PSG.
Nygel? PSG. Oh, the PSG Inter Milan. Mimi ndo referee I think katikati. See you next time. See you on the other side of the studio.